There's a part of me that is done being quiet, done watching people shrink, done pretending that healing is tidy and polite. And this morning, this part of me roared onto the page, fierce, honest, impossible to ignore. And I realized she is not meant to be ignored. She needs to be heard now. It is time for me to listen to her. Hey, beautiful souls, brave souls. Today, I am inviting you into a very raw and real space with me. And I'm going to share part of my own personal healing journey. And this is not to generate sympathy or to overshare. It's simply to show you the process, or at least my process, of acknowledging the various parts of ourselves in order to integrate them. It's emotional. Once you let them in, though, that is the door to freedom. On the other side of your pain and the fear is freedom. So let's dive in. So here is my journal entry. I'm reading. Okay, so I'm going to look down. It's because I'm reading. This morning I invited the part of me that got angry at the middle schoolers, a story I will not get into here, and the part that feels frustrated about living where I live, also not going to get into that. This part of me is big, courageous, rebellious against harmful social norms and lies. It wants to tell the truth, and it wants to be seen. It wants to offend, not because it's offensive, but because it wants to help awaken others and shake them out of their stupors. It wants to scream and shout because it's so outraged at the state of humanity, what it's done to itself, each other, and the earth. It's so outraged at the level of self-abandonment and betrayal, and what that has meant for the atrocities committed against humanity and against this earth and against her creatures and her waters and her forests and just all beings and ecosystems. This holy, divine species that is capable of everything has gotten so lost in forgetfulness and stubbornness that it destroys itself, each other, and everything it touches. Now, humanity doesn't actually destroy everything it touches, but I let this is like unfiltered, because when you're healing, you don't filter yourself. You gotta just express it all in its raw dirtiness, in its messiness. Just be fucking real, okay? Just be real. So this beautiful human race glorifies money in a way that's unhealthy and destructive. It glorifies people with money as omniscient, like these billionaires. I don't know why people think Bill Gates knows what the F he's talking about with vaccines and medicine and population control and farming and climate control. The man is a computer nerd. He's not a doctor. He's not a scientist. He don't know shit about this stuff. He just has money and his own personal agenda. And we think, oh my God, he's a billionaire, so he must know something. No, he has his own nasty agenda that is not good for you. It is not good for us. It is not good for humanity and the planet. It's good for his bank account and his weird psychopathic, pathological need to control and have power over everybody and to make you a slave. And to have you continue to be a slave. Very passionate. All right. That humanity gives its power away so freely, it doesn't even realize it. This part is outraged at the programmed slavery of people, and that most never think to question anything. They just walk around in acceptance and complicity, being small, scared, controlled, manipulated, brainwashed, addicted to pain and suffering. And let me tell you, we are all addicted to pain and suffering. It's so unconscious, though. We don't even know it. But you don't know it until you know it. And I know it. Oh my God, am I addicted to pain and suffering? And I am lessening that addiction. However, it still has a grip on me. So, addicted to pain and suffering, constantly distracting themselves because it's too scary and painful to face their wounds, their fear, guilt, and shame. Think about a world that wasn't, or about people that weren't dictated by their fear, guilt, and shame, that's been shoved in our faces, that's been literally installed as a belief system into us. Imagine if humanity loved itself, how different we would interact with each other, how different we would treat this planet and our animals and our waters and our soils and our atmosphere. We would not look like we look right now. It would be completely like the opposite of what we are right now as a big collective, okay? All right, so this part of me is outraged that such a majestic race can fall so far into darkness and forgetfulness, and that they believe they're tiny and insignificant and filled with despair and self-hatred. It really is watching a divine, holy being lose itself in the made-up rules of this false matrix, this slave matrix. And I hate this aspect of humanity. Yes, hate. It's infuriating. I want to slap them all in the face, shake them by their shoulders, and scream in their face, "Wake up!" until they do. Waking up to their personal power, waking up to their divinity, waking up to their heart as the dominant decision-making organ, waking up to their self-love, self-worth, and self-respect. Again, if we loved and respected ourselves truly, we would love and respect others. And how different would this world be? My God, it would be beautiful. Okay. Now, this part of me that's talking, this is the abused, victimized part of me speaking. So, just for context, I was in an abusive marriage for 14 years, extremely abusive. And I don't mean just physical abuse, psychological, mental abuse, just terrible. Raging narcissist I was married to. So this is the part of me that accepted abuse, manipulation, and was addicted to pain and suffering. The part that felt helpless. The part that believed she had no personal power. The part that was loyal, naive, and delusional. The part that abandoned, denied, rejected, and disowned the part of me that was self-respecting and self-loving. It disowned my divinity temporarily and lived as a slave, meaning that I had forgotten my direct connection with Source and Soul. I forgot that I am also divine, that I am an angel on earth living in a tiny human body. And by the way, so are you. You are also an angel on earth, an earth angel. I forgot about self-love, self-respect, self-worth. I forgot that I had the right to say no. No, wait. I lost my place. That I had the right to say, okay, I forgot that I had the right to say no, that I had the right to safety, that I had the right to walk away. I forgot my power and my source until I remembered it. And then everything changed. I remembered that I could love myself. I remembered that I was worthy of having safety. I remembered that I could say no. No to abuse. No to gaslighting. No to manipulation. No to disgusting behavior. No to sex. I remembered my light. I remembered my soul, and I decided to listen to that small, loving, and hopeful voice telling me that I'm loved and that it's okay to leave, that I don't have to accept this. So I changed. I said no to him, and I said yes to me. The end of my journal entry. So, the reason that I allowed this part, I was ready this morning to let this part come to light because I've been so fucking frustrated the last, 3 weeks, maybe. Do you ever feel so big and driven and so full of purpose, yet at the same time it's like you don't know what to do with it or how to let it out, or you're scared of being for the truth that you have to tell, I'm in that space. And I'm in that space of saying, like, fuck it. But also still kind of reserved, like, if I tell people what I actually believe, and I'm like, on all levels. I live in a Southern Baptist town, you know. I just worry about judgment. So if you're still here with me, thank you for witnessing this and for being willing to sit with something raw and unpolished and deeply human and uncomfortable. I share this not because I think my process is special, but because healing is not glossy, it's not perfect, it's not pretty. You know? It's messy. And for me, at times, it's rebellious because I am breaking the programming of this slave matrix that we live in. Now, the slave matrix, that's a whole other like video topic. I should say maybe false matrix. That's maybe easier to understand, this false matrix. So sometimes the most spiritual thing you can do is tell the truth about what hurts, about what enrages you, and what you refuse to tolerate anymore. So if a part of you has been whispering or maybe roaring, as in my case today, if there's a truth inside of you that's tired of waiting, if there's a piece of your soul that refuses to stay small or silent, let this be your permission slip, that it's safe to reclaim your power, and it's safe to remember who you are, and it's safe to return to your sovereignty. One breath, one liberated choice at a time, and one self-loving step at a time. And thank you for being here. And if this resonated with you, please subscribe and like this video. There is so much more to come. One thing about me is you can count on me to be real and honest and, you know, probably a lot more vulnerable than most people. So, thanks y'all. Peace out.